Okay guys, so this is not going to be my usual video that I like to do. Normally, obviously, we talk about Star Citizen, and obviously that in itself is different, but also the fact that we normally talk about patch notes, news, leaks, theory crafting, stuff like that. But today we're going to mix it up a little bit, give the guys on Reddit something else to whinge about. Amazon Game Studios reveals MMO based on Lord of the Rings. So you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with a Star Citizen predominantly channel? Well, because it actually benefits Star Citizen, and we'll get to that in a sec. So let's go through this article. Let's talk about this. We'll talk about how this is not the only game that's using Lumberyard, and how it all works in with Star Citizen. So let's just jump straight into it. Amazon is officially doubling down on its investment into Middle-earth, following up the reveal of a TV series based on Lord of the Rings being developed. Amazon Game Studios has revealed a new massive multiplayer online game based on the popular fantasy novels as well. The online retail company started making major gaming moves with Amazon Game Studios as far back as 2014, but during E3 2019, employees were laid off and unannounced games were cancelled. Part of the move was done to prioritize the development of specific games, and it's likely that this MMO based on Lord of the Rings is one such game. Amazon Game Studios will be developing Lord of the Rings MMO collaboration with Liu, the global video game holding company that is partly owned by Digital Extremes, the developers behind the free-to-play action game World Warframes. The game has been developed independently of Lord of the Rings TV series. It's coming to Amazon, which will be prequel to the popular trilogy. The show takes part during the second age of Middle-earth, which is several thousand years before the journey of Frodo Baggins and Gandalf and the rest of the crew. The official name for the MMO hasn't been revealed, nor has the release window, but we do know that it will be released on both PC and on home gaming consoles. Game developers who have previously worked on Destiny, PlanetSide, World of Warcraft, and Rift will be developing the Lord of the Rings MMO. Devs who worked on Defiance are involved as well, and they're likely able to bring insight into creating a game based on the television property. The original Defiance game was an intriguing MMO where characters from the TV show would be spending time between two mediums, but the game was relaunched years after the show was cancelled by Sci-Fi. I don't know what that game they're talking about, but yeah, anyway. Amazon won't have to worry about the show carrying the game or vice versa though, because the company confirmed in a press release the show and video game will be unrelated and are being developed independent of one another, despite that each will certainly be evaluated by the existence of the other. An MMO built around the Lord of the Rings is a strong move from Amazon Game Studios, and unlike the studio's other MMO world, the New World has already sought a fan base to support it. So what they're talking about here with the MMO for New World, obviously Amazon for trade in the game industry is proof nobody can shortcut their way to a hit. It's been fully 5 years since the online retailer, worth more than most, if not all, of the major video game publishers combined, announced it was going to start making video games, and started as well. Amazon forked CryEngine into its own proprietary engine, Lumberyard, and hired Clint Hitchcock, hired Kim Swift, hired sorts of people, in other words, and that you want to make games. And basically, yeah, it's going on about this game using Lumberyard. So you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with Star Citizen? Okay, so obviously with this game engine, they're going to be using Lumberyard as well. Now, this is a good thing for Star Citizen because Star Citizen is an MMO, or some people call it an RPG, whatever you may want to call it. But some of the technology, if not all the technology that Star Citizen is developing, may be used in the development of this other game, the Lord of the Rings game. And if that's the case, Star Citizen presumably will be selling that technology onto, for example, Amazon, or even to, for example, this other studio. So, obviously, Star Citizens had to go through. They've got to do OCS for server side, OCS for client side. They've obviously got to be able to do through the bind culling, server meshing, even making 64-bit procedural planets and stuff like that. Obviously, all this sort of stuff is something that they might want to use in their own games. Now, if that's the case, Star Citizen maybe, depending on their contract, may be able to turn around and say to Lumberyard or even this other studio, we have this technology already, buy it from us, and therefore they're able to increase their bank account through selling this tech. Now, this is not a new theory. We've always said long ago that, for example, that this technology that Star Citizen is developing now may be able to be sold at a later date, and it looks like it's actually starting to come in fruition. The reason why they haven't had much luck doing that we know of in the past was because there wasn't a game industry that was using Lumberyard. Game industry tends to stick to the same sort of engines that they've always used, Unreal, stuff like that, for example, which obviously looks really great as well. But if Lumberyard can go through and start proving to people that it's a viable platform when it comes to, for example, building multiplayers and open worlds and MMOs and stuff like that, then people might actually start taking more notice of it. Which is good for Star Citizen because money for selling that tech that they're developing. Even things like, for example, their hair modules and stuff like that for the character creatives and stuff like that. That's stuff that we presume that Star Citizen has developed on their own and that they're able to possibly sell to Amazon and to other companies so that they can go through and obviously get the money back from the development or the R&D for building that tech. Now, obviously people, for example, are going to be saying, well, what does it have to do with us? What does Star Citizen selling this technology off obviously have to do with us? Well, this might be why we've only seen 3 ship sales this year. So far, we've had 3 concept sales. The Corsair, we've had a bike, which is the Ranger, and we had the tugboat. I forget what the tugboat's called. But those 3 are the only ship sales, concept sales that we've had this year. Now, obviously, we've had for example, we've just had the Independence Day similar sort of sale as well. But there's been a lack of sales when it comes to ship sales over the past 6 months, compared to the previous year where you basically had a concept sale every month. So this may be the reason why CIG is laying off the ship sales. It may be the fact that they're already starting to sell this technology to Lumberyard. We presume that they've obviously gone through, and Amazon's obviously gone through and presumably started building this tech or started building this game. So they're going to start to need things like the 64-bit procedural, stuff like that already. Also server-side OCS and client-side and all that sort of stuff obviously is going to have to go in sooner or later. It might be the fact that Star Citizen has already gone through and started making some money off their tech already. So this could be some really good news for Star Citizen. And look, I'm excited. And look, at the end of the day, if we can get Star Citizen to lay off some of the ship sales and start making money from selling their tech, and if they can go through and fund themselves through that plus selling games, like for example Squadron 42, then I think that's a positive for the community. And I think this is a really good move. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on Lumberyard and Star Citizen and this Lord of the Rings? Obviously, Lord of the Rings is using Lumberyard because Amazon is helping them with their TV show. Presumably, it's been in the contract that Amazon will turn around and say, we will help you build this TV show, but we also want you to use our engine, for example, Lumberyard, for when it comes to game development. Presumably, these game developers have turned around and said, have you got anything that's using that tech already? And they've most likely shown them screenshots or videos of this new open world. or this New World, and also most likely Star Citizen. And they're like, yep, done. We'll use this because it looks frigging amazing. Besides Unreal, I don't know of any other engine that looks quite as good as Lumberyard. So, yeah, I think this is a really good move, and I think this is a real positive for the Star Citizen community. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Lumberyard is buying up the tech from Star Citizen and are going to start using it for their own game development? Do you think that games like this, for example, this Lord of the Rings, is already going to be buying some of that tech? Do you think that's why maybe we've seen a back off when it comes to, for example, Star Citizen selling ships? Do you think they're already starting to get money coming in from, for example, selling their client-side OCS? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next monetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.